Okay, hello, everybody, and I'd like to thank BCN Blockchain Week for inviting us here, for inviting me as a moderator, and inviting me to this panel about sensitive data management. And so I just wanted to introduce you, Alex, again, with Eden Labs. I'd like to introduce also Belen from Lalex Worldwide, Renata, she's a state-appointed judge for the Sao Paulo State Court, and also Claudio from 11 Pass. And you are the Chief Security Envoy, right? Yes. And you'll have to explain to us what that means a little bit later. But for now, I'd like to just clarify what sensitive data is. And so I think the perfect person to explain us this would be Belen. Belen, can you tell us? Or, I mean, everyone can jump in afterwards.
I'm going to read the article because it's... No, I mean, in general terms, sensitive data is health data, data that tell us the racial origin, and also biometrics, which is a big, interesting aspect of, actually biometrics became sensitive data with the GDPR, so it's because the GDPR is a new regulation, but it was a law before, so biometrics is a big, you know, group of sensitive data. In general, I would say those are the three things, three types of sensitive data that are the mostly controversial, I would say, in terms of protection.
And also political, right?
Political, yeah.
Political
yes,
affiliation
yes.
is important. Go ahead.
I like to think of sensitive data, any kind of data that may actually cause some prejudice or some limitation on rights.
Exactly.
Especially in Brazil, the law isn't really, it is specific about the sensitive data, but it leaves this little
gray area.
Space, a little gray area because of the reflex and the effects it can cause, the bad effects it can cause.
Can you give us an example
No,
of...
just like for political, I think that, for instance, at one place, maybe your gender may not be a problem, but in some places it may be. So it's not, it wouldn't be a sensitive data as by any means, but it may become interpreted as one if it may cause you any harm or prevent you from getting a job or getting access to other things, or if your political opinions may block you from accessing anything or any right. This is a sensitive data.
Okay. And then Claudio, can you please explain a little bit about what your corporate cyber envoy actually means?
It's actually just, let's say it's a title that says that I can actually help people understand better cybersecurity. And regarding to your question, it's data, it's an asset. And that asset can be anything. It's not a name. It can be an email, it can be an IP address, it can be the moment that you open a page, a web page that you visited something. In the end, all that data can mean a lot of things. It can be translated into marketing, into advertising, into something that is going to be exploited by someone. And it's not only because it's going to bring harm to us, it's because that something that we produced doesn't give us any benefit in return. So it's the same issue as usual, that if something is free, then it's free, then the product, it's you. Because you're giving away all the information and so on. So you actually have to be aware of how much is that worth, and all the terms and conditions have to be very clear and specify all those things. And there are a few programs in the world trying to put that and make it clear, but they're still in a very early age to say like that.
Okay, and Alex, since your project is still new, would you, what part is like, how do you deal with the sensitive data issue?
Yeah. First of all, I believe that any data is a property, and there is not sensitive property. So every human being are in a law to know and control this data. So as we develop the software, we need to relate to data inside our systems are as the property of users, not the property of the companies who run the system, but the property of the users. And in our project, we know that our system is like have data about mostly of all population of Ukraine.
Yeah.
And we try to, first of all, minimize the amount of data we are gathering. We are gathering only crucial and essential information for us, and also maximally disconnect data so no one can link each data piece to a correct user if something goes wrong. So the system by design is trying to use only required data sets.
So was like this like a was this like a collaboration with the government so that they told you like during the architecture of your of the system, did they actually specify that you want to cut off these certain sort of like cutoff points so that the access is limited for these sensitive data issues?
Yes, this is government system,
Yeah.
so it's all based on laws that are issued by our government. And there are different kind of laws to, first of all, determine the data that can be used in the system. And also it's like insist that we don't have even our technical team cannot try to access it to do something.
Okay, so there's multi-layer
Yeah,
protections on it.
if you are talking about the security standards, we are OWASP compliant. Our company is also like PCI DSS compliant, and we are running multiple security practices like the company itself. But and the result of it is that we are able to work with the government and store this amount of data in our systems.
Perfect. So in general, at the moment, how do you guys see that the benefits of blockchain and pretty much managing sensitive data? And you guys can tell me who wants to go at this first.
I can go.
Okay, but I don't want to always pick on you because afterwards you're saying,
what
hey.
I've seen from some projects in blockchain dealing with sensitive data is that they really help to streamline the processes because there are a lot of service providers that are involved, and also it costs a lot because it's also like sending to a lot of administrative burdens.
Exactly. Yes.
So I think it's in the health industry, it's blockchain. It's a big thing. I think. I mean, it's the protection. I mean, the legal side probably it's more complicated, but yeah, it's.
Okay.
I see it in healthcare. It's.
So are you dealing most in healthcare right now in your company, or?
Well, I
know you do
I
everything.
do legal. Yeah, I mean some clients were they were providing legal medical services.
Okay.
And we advise them from the point of view of the GDPR.
Definitely.
But I've seen some use cases that they are trying to streamline the processes and connect and see, and also empower the data subject to really know who they share the data with. They decide on those bases they have control over the data, and if they want to share it or not, and
Yeah,
so on.
exactly. They
So
personally have to do-
there are a
yeah.
lot of applications, so I mean, more or less, I think it's cost effective, and it saves a lot of administrative burdens in general, yeah.
Okay. And Renata, how do you see it helping, like the judicial system in Brazil?
Okay, so first, we always have to think if blockchain is actually the best solution for keeping data, sensitive data or personal data. Sometimes it's not. But if we are careful enough and we can actually, and if we can preserve the privacy of the people involved, I think that blockchain would actually give a lot of transparency
Definitely.
on the processes and on the research conducted with all of those data. And that's important because especially concerning the governments and the state, it's really important for people to know how the data was structured, where it came from, how and what was done with it, and how this was actually converted into something to be given to the people. As I said in my lecture, we've got in Brazil 78 million lawsuits, and there are a lot of them that deal with health and medicine products and things like that. And if we had a way to harvest that data, we don't need to know who needs that medicine or who needs that treatment, but we can identify what are the regions that need better healthcare systems, who need medicine, who are the people who aren't getting the medicine. So I think that blockchain will bring transparency to that, but privacy must be respected.
Definitely. But the Brazilian government is actually open to having, putting, blockchain data on the blockchain?
Studies have been conducted, but not concerning blockchain
Okay.
right now. Or if it is, I'm not aware of. I know that the state of Paraná is really concerned about using blockchain in their structures, but there are a few initiatives here and there just to try to really build up an ecosystem. They're still very, very on their initial states. So.
Okay. You think
But I
that
think-
the acceptance is...
Yes,
okay.
but I think that the problem is that blockchain became a buzzword.
Exactly.
So it is good because it brings awareness, but at the same time, it's not good because no one can actually establish a real and true separation from scams
Exactly.
and from other criminal activities and things like that. So that sometimes is an obstacle
Definitely.
for blockchain adoption, I think. So even though everyone knows that it's a way to do things. And at the same time, first question is, do you need a blockchain?
Exactly.
So, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
because, I mean,
It's like, but then it makes sense because then you have all this data stored in like a secured place
In a
and
secured-
it's transparent. So-
yes, you can give transparency, and
Yeah.
it's what we need in the state.
Exactly.
In the public space,
Exactly.
we need transparency.
But transparency within your group rather than
Yes.
publicly. Claudio, what do you see the benefits in sensitive data management?
Well, DLT technologies are a wonderful thing when you work with sensitive information, mostly because you have to be aware of three key points, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. And what DLT technology brings to the game, it's also the traceability of everyone, what did happen to that data, where did it come from, where does it go, who accessed it, and so on, which is pretty much a game changer because until now we were very much focused on confidentiality, which blockchain for now has a few tools in order to achieve that. I don't always agree that they're the best tools, depends on who put them together, because DLT technology by itself don't bring security. It's the person that puts that technology together, implements it, that's the one that decides the level of security. In the integrity of data, it's very important talking about healthcare, because if you think about an X-ray, one point that when you transmit the data, if you lose even 1 point of that X-ray, you can actually make a surgeon take a wrong decision that you have to operate someone because it has something
Exactly,
not there.
on the other leg.
So
Yeah.
blockchain can help a lot with that integrity in that case and in many other cases when a very small piece of information, like a very small dot, can change or can bring a bad decision making in the process. And on top of that, you can actually have all the accountability in place thanks to this technology because you know exactly who, when, and most of the time where, depending on the access level implemented.
Okay, perfect. And Alex, do you have any opinions about the benefits of the data being put on the blockchain?
I think the blockchain as a whole, if you want to, like, not to talk about it like as a buzzword, if you want to have such kind of system that will independently store some amount of data and provide consistency, availability to write to this data and to adapt to it and be sure that it didn't change. So you basically, to do it, you need to solve whole other problems. You need to be able identify who wants to write. You need to be able to be sure that he has the right to write, and you also need to be sure that he has the ability to write exactly this.
Yes.
So if you solve this problem, basically this is all the properties of the blockchain. But if you solve this problem, you mostly solve a whole bunch of other problems in different sides, in healthcare, in love, in et cetera, et cetera. So I believe that if you have this need to have this decentralized database, then maybe using the blockchain will add up on the benefit and the pros that most of the blockchain systems have solved all these problems before, and you will solve only your exact business problem.
Okay, perfect. Well, we're about to, I think it's around the time. Is it? Okay, so does anyone have any questions about sensitive data management in the audience? No one? Okay, so I want to thank everyone on the panel for coming here and participating in this panel, and we'll continue on with our the panels that are after us. And so thank you so much.
Thank you so much.